Okay, are Depo headlights a good fit for your classic Mercedes? I know that those of you that like European headlights have considered putting Depo lights on your US spec Mercedes Benz models. And so the Depo headlights are like a Taiwanese alternative to the original Bosch and Hella lights. Now, I use the word Euro lights, but actually they're called rest of the world headlights because only the United States had the unique sealed beam specification lights that we see in our cars. There were some other interesting headlight combinations, like in England on the W108, there was a there was like a sealed beam light with like a yellow or orange reflector that was available, but for the most part, even in the UK with imperial instrumentation and this and that, they didn't have the regulations that kept the rest of the world headlights out of the cars like they did in the United States. So sure, there were different types of strange headlights, but the United States is the majority market for sealed beam lights. Now, one of the reasons that people like upgrading to the rest of the world or European headlights is because they give better visibility. You can fit a 60 or even a 90 watt bulb in there and get your visibility up. And some people are under the impression that this is really the only way to improve visibility with the stock headlight setup, and we're going to talk about that a little bit too. Now, the reason or the impetus for people using Depo lights is because A, they're cheap, B, they're new, C, they're readily available, D, no refurbishment or restoration of an original set is needed, and of course, E, most people don't even know the difference between the Depo lights and the quality of the original Bosch or Hella rest of the world or European lights. So we're going to talk about how bad the Depo lights actually are. I've got 3 main points to discuss. And then we're going to talk a little bit about what you could do if you want a set of European headlights or if you want to improve visibility on your car. So point number 1 about the Depo lights. I don't like the plug connectors. The wiring in those headlights is very low quality. It's something you'd find in a Korean appliance that's designed to last for 10 years. It uses a very low gauge wire, and wire needs a lot of voltage, a lot of gauge. It needs to be a strong wire if it's going to be carrying a lighting current because it gets hot. And they also use, instead of using a Mercedes-Benz style square plug with embedded female or male pin bushings, they use these weird butt plugs that, like butt connectors that go into, they're like a pin that goes into the Mercedes plug. There's not even a housing. So this is utter garbage. These pins, these electrical pins or plugs are male in shape and they are the wrong size. And they don't actually fit snugly in the Mercedes socket because they're just a generic connector. And as a result, you may lose voltage to your headlights when you're in a rough or bumpy road or there's moisture, corrosion, or whatever. So this alone makes them trash. They're unreliable electrical connection. The second thing that makes them complete trash is the fact that water can get in them really easily. The glass lens, which is not the same as a Bosch or Hella lens, is thin. It's low quality, and it doesn't seal very well against the plastic headlight body. Because of this, moisture can get in and fog up the lens and cause you to have not only corrosion inside on your wires and electrical connectors, but poor visibility. The third thing I don't like about them is their low quality manufacturing. The plastic shells are really thin and they deteriorate. Plastic in the 1980s is not the same thing as plastic today. In the 1980s, when Mercedes came out with plastic housings for models like the 126 and 123, this was extremely durable plastic. It wasn't designed to rot away in a landfill in 5 years. These thin shell, high flexibility plastics that you only go together once, for lack of a better term, or what Depo uses, and their headlight lenses are thinner, making them more prone to cracking. The original Bosch and Hella lenses are very big, heavy lenses, and they are designed to take rocks and all sorts of whatever the road might throw at you nonsense. These lenses, though, are so much better than the Depo lenses, which are like eggshells, and they're mostly for show, rather than go. Now, There are two reasons people upgrade to Euro headlights. The first one is because they want the Euro headlight look. The second was because they want the visibility. Let's address the visibility problem. Today, Hella makes H4 bulbs or lenses, entire sealed beam lenses that go into your original US headlight assemblies that take an H4 bulb in varying degrees of wattage. Now, Hella will say these are for off-road use only. I'm sure there's some kind of law in place that makes them have to say that, but people install them in these cars all the time, and they get their visibility way up. In addition, you can use like an H1 fog light bulb in place of your original headlight, high beam headlight bulb. If you have like a 116 or a 107 and you want a second bulb that produces even higher amperage, higher power or more wattage at night, and you could have what is in effect a second fog light that triggers with your high beams. And this gives you amazing voltage without blinding the person in front of you and a good field of visibility in front of your car. Now, this is what I recommend if you want better lighting, not a set of crusty old Euro lights. But if you do want Euro lights, we're going to talk about how you get there. First of all, your minimum spend on a set of Euro lights should be considered a safety expense. So a good set of 126 Euro lights is like $650. A good set of 107 Euro lights is like $1,600 to $1,800. A good set of 123 Euro lights is like $900 to $1,000. It may help you to save some money by sourcing these outside of the country because these were used all over the place. In addition, there were two sets of 123 Euro lights, the ones that have the round circles in the middle embedded in the pane of glass, and then the deluxe light that was used in cars like the 280E and the 300D that had, on some 300Ds I should say, that had a solid glass pane. Either one of these are fine. They both look good, but I personally prefer the clear ones. Doesn't matter though. If I'm looking for a set, I'll take what I can get. Now, when you are looking for these lights, it's key that you find a set that has no corrosion on the reflectors. The lenses are replaceable. If you get a set with the broken lenses or you get a separated set and one of them needs a lens, or NOS lenses all the time on eBay, and Mercedes even has a lot of the lenses still. And if you have to take the lens off and rotate the clips out of the way, Mercedes still sells the clips for almost all the European headlight lines. I can't think of any that don't have clips available. The clips take a 5/32 of an inch rivet to hold on. I was just doing this on a set of 116 headlights, and they're relatively easy to install and take apart and clean or whatever. So you've got a myriad of options that you should consider before putting depots in. The last thing I'm going to tell you is this, that I don't think that European headlights are really that great of an upgrade. I think that they are right for a Euro car that's been converted to US headlights, so you should put them back on. But personally, I prefer my US cars with US lights. The US lights are very easy to service. You just remove the bulb, call Napa, get another bulb, put it in, or upgrade to the Hella sealed beam unit. I don't see the biggest benefit to putting Euro lights in, but that's just me. Remember to try to focus on repairs your car needs versus repairs that make it more cosmetically appealing, because at the end of the day, you need the car to work. Looking a certain way or making your car stand out on Instagram or whatever is not going to get you from point A to point B. So if you enjoyed this video, please like, share, and subscribe, and tap the bell for notifications. And if you have a pair of Depo lights in your cars and you threw away your US headlights and you regret it, you should still try to find a set of US lights or real Euro lights, because your Depos are trash and they're going to fail when you need them the most. And leave a comment below if you disagree. I might read it. I don't know. I kind of like the feisty ones, but we'll see you in the future, and enjoy working on your classic Mercedes.